Hello, I've come to release this word of encouragement and word of faith, most especially to believers, to followers of Christ, followers of Jesus. That if you are a follower of Christ, I urge you to be faithful in your following and also be committed in your following, because I believe in one thing, that any man that stays with the Master Jesus never remains the same. Any man that stays with the Master Jesus never remains the same. I could remember Pastor Chris making a statement sometime that you should stay with God, that the world will look for you. That when you stay with God, the world will look for you. And I can actually come to understand the meaning of that statement from the manifestation of his life. From the manifestation of his life, I can actually understand the meaning of that statement. Now, there is a scenario in the Bible whereby the disciples, they were summoned by the high priest, the apostles of Jesus. They were summoned by the high priests of the temple. And the high priest was just like telling them which name did you actually use to heal the sick? And the Bible recorded that Peter, being filled with the Holy Ghost, rose up with all boldness and began to speak. And immediately the high priests of the temple, they were amazed with the way Peter spoke, because they knew them to be men of no education. What I mean by men of no education, they were uneducated. Now you can actually come to understand that majority of the disciples of Jesus were uneducated, but because they had been with Jesus, Jesus actually taught them a lot. And when the chief priests actually sensed, they were amazed the way these men were speaking, but they actually came to understand that this man has been with Jesus. Now I've come to encourage you as a believer that if you are following Jesus, you should follow him committedly. No man follows Jesus faithfully and remains the same. God is the maker of men. He told his disciples and he said, "Come, follow me and I will make you. I will make you." God is the maker of men. We should also have in mind that almost the whole disciples that came along and followed Jesus, none of them were educated. But even till date, we are still talking about the impacts those men have made. From generation to generation, we still come to remember the impacts those men have made here, because they decided to be with Jesus. So just a word of faith and a word of encouragement to as many of us that are followers of Christ. Stay with Jesus. It does not matter how your life might be, how your situation might be, just stay committed with him. Even if you think you are uneducated or you can't communicate well, if the Lord can equally drop something, a dimension in your life that will make all men to look for you. That is nothing God cannot do. He makes men. God is the maker of men. So anyone who follows him committedly and faithfully, God never leaves them the same. He makes them. It's a word of encouragement, and I believe you are encouraged. God bless you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit up the notification button. I love you.